actually, this is mass hysteria, and I forgot to turn the red dial up, so the recording actually just started right now.
Oh, cool.
You gotta turn the red slider up if you want it to record people. And you gotta watch the lamps.
What is the language like in this show?
Right now I'm not worried about it.
I don't
Those
want
are
you to
my
lose
standards.
any demographic due to language or content, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch the language.
I usually
Mild.
try to keep it. I usually try to keep it mild, but you know, if things happen, they happen. We like to try to keep it, you know, applicable to most people. I'd like everyone to be able to listen, not just people who are comfortable with coarse language.
You know, language. It's not what you say; it's how you say it.
It's funny because it's like people were looking at me when I talked about should have worked, but I'm not going to go there because I'm going to talk about work.
Oh yeah, yes. This is mass hysteria, and thanks, Tony.
So check it out. I found some
I have my
nice
moments.
ice cream here that we just found here.
What kind is it?
You gotta talk into a microphone. Look at these levels. The levels are not nearly high enough.
There's ice cream that I just found. If you can see this crowd, which just like was in the corner over there, you know, that's kind of cool, right? I hope you're watching this, person who left your ice cream. I just want you to know this is so awesome to see and discover.
So then this is it.
The actual.
What's it?
Right here. This is what's getting hit.
Okay. Got it. It all works now.
Got it.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
However, man. Throw that shit back down there.
This is mass-hysteria, and we got it.
Like herpes. Not gonna go away now.
The orange one.
Sockets. Well.
Do you want the big chair? Oh wait, there's more chairs.
Okay, I don't know what else he wants to pull up. He can work that out.
My
schoolhouse chairs.
Well, I moved a really small one. So I don't want to sit on it.
I like the kindergarten chair.
Be a shrunk.
Well, I just found a free publication. Can I get a seat on this side?
Yeah, go first. I should move this camera so we can all learn.
Oh, okay. In the view. Is it the view, that terrible morning show they have?
Mm-hmm.
So should the table work just a little bit to the left. So we gotta get in her in
This is mass-hysteria, and we're in the view. And my laptop is in hibernate.
Don't forget to plug your thing back in.
Why don't you turn back on? Oh.
Oh man, that's tight. That's what she's.
Why are cheese back there? What you doing? Something horrific. Alright. My caps lock is on and we're in the view. Yes. Air initializing ASIO driver. Would you like to view your audio device configuration in the view? Yes. It's still
What are you doing?
trying to truly understand what yes means
Not
in the view, because
but
my ASIO device is rocking it.
I don't think it does.
This is mass-hysteria, and I'd like to initialize my ASIO driver.
How much you get?
I bring like a pole next time.
Ooh, Reaper's encountered a problem and needs to close. We're sorry for the inconvenience. If you were in the middle of something, I don't know, like a radio show, the information you were working on might be lost. Please tell Microsoft about this problem. We have created an error report that you can send to us. We will treat this report as confidential and anonymous. To see what data this error report contains, click here. Error signature, event type, in-page error, P1, C0000098, P2, 000000000. Reporting details, blah 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 blah. To view technical information, click here. The following files will be included in this error report. Close, close, just die. No wait, no send error report.
Just die.
Done. I'm brutal with my programs sometimes. You know, but what can you do? You know? I don't know. I haven't found much of a way to be more amicable with them, especially under Windows, because it's, you never know. what's really going on with anything. Whereas Linux, you can actually like find out, you know, if you really look, you can find out what's going on. Like, why are you not working? Error message. Oh, I see what it is. Or if they didn't document it,
Windows
fault
have a lot
in
of
such and
unknown
such
errors.
application. You can trace back in the programming language, if you actually know it, you can trace back in any given open source program to where in the software it failed. You can find it, and if you're smart enough, you can fix it. And that's something that you cannot do with lockdown, closed proprietary software. It's just not possible. So, anywho, we're getting things back up here, and we're going to talk about last week. Last week on the radio show, Mass-Hysteria, we played some uncredited audio and, well, they were really just audio clips, but I forgot to say who they were by, and I want to give people credit for what they did. So last week we heard Alex Baroza, LTH, ACL, Eclipse, Cohen Park, My Life in Machinery, or it could be Keen Park, My Life in Machinery, if they're really that German.
I think it's too high up without the ability to
OBBBMV,
widen.
Italo-Tilian Schizo Chic Garment District, Zombie Ninja Schmo, It's More Like a Bad Dream, Heathen, Fractura, Igor Vaslov with Heaven, Vertical 67 with Into the Green, of course Origami Repetica with their hot hit Cough Syrup Surprise, Kitten Park, At the End of a Century, A Quartet Stands Alone, Latex Distortion with Wagon 9 to LE, Latex Distortion with Paris, Giraffe with A Bus Out of Here, and Gary West with Good Life. And there were many audio clips from both Adam Curtis's documentaries and interviews done by KMO, who seems to run some sort of hippie commune farm that seems pretty cool, and interview people and release the interviews Creative Commons, which is awesome because these people have some important things to say, and it's nice to be able to get them out there. And it's nice to be able to give someone credit for all the work that he's done and that these other people have done, and you know, everything they've contributed. So, I'm just going to kind of keep talking here while I plug cables in. I think it's pretty important that these cables get plugged in, because without these, we're going to be missing certain aspects of the radio show that I think give it a really immersive characteristic.
We're by Jack now.
So,
Who do you want on? Jack or you? Or I can't get both, cause so.
I'm just, you know, gonna get these cables plugged in here.
So
I hope they work. They might not.
On that cord?
We're gonna find out once we get them plugged in and get this board rolling. Probably gonna want some outputs. I think outputs are an important thing to have. I think it's also it's probably important to have some inputs too, because we're gonna be wanting to feed some stuff in here. So we got these inputs here. I'm gonna plug it in. And, you know, tell you the truth, we've got some outputs as well. A lot of these adapters.
Like way up there, it's overall.
Maybe this one is
step ladder.
really want.
Oh,
That's a pretty good one.
Here, yeah, it's.
I could use that
This is what it was
adapter
originally.
with my cable, and this one with that
Thank you, bro.
one. And
Next time I'll bring like a nice
these
one.
with these. And we should be in business as far as the outputs go. pretty soon after that, we'll probably get some input. In fact, there's a way easier way I could have done this, and I didn't. But that is what it is. I'm wondering if Tony might need to step over my cable here. All right. Well, we're gonna have to check those levels. Get our outputs going. We're gonna run a piece of software called Reaper.
If it's possible to get you
We're gonna start that up.
Okay, that's cool.
But who do you want?
Once we check our drives here, we're gonna check our drives, and we're gonna open up some software here. Speak a little bit louder to get those levels up there. Get those levels up in the range. A little bit closer to the microphone, perhaps. The levels are still not super high. Unlike some levels.
Or people.
Or people. That does happen. I've heard of that sort of thing before. Isn't that one of those things the kids are always doing?
Those crazy kids.
They're always up to something, getting higher than the levels. What will they do next?
Testing. Am I a bit loud? It's going up kind of high on me.
No, you have it to be here.
Do you have earphones?
It'll start getting yellow when it gets dangerous, and it'll start getting red when it's like blowing the lid.
How do I plug my earphones in to hear myself talk in this guy?
So there's kind of one of the things that have happened with the earphones is that they aren't so much working like that all the time.
Okay.
There's really only like one set of main earphones.
But it works sometimes.
We need to get adapters. Well, you can only have one pair at a time.
Oh. He doesn't want one. Do you want one?
No.
This is the only pair we have right now, and I should be able to hear myself.
Testing?
Yeah, my levels are pretty low.
Can you hear me?
I have to get my levels. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. You're
Okay.
coming through actually clearer than I
Pretty
was.
nice.
Am I coming in stupid and retarded?
No, you're good. We're all good here. Let's all talk while we pass the headphones around for a moment. Let's all just get a good idea where our levels are. Make sure we're still evaluating our copy of Reaper, because after that, if you got $60, throw it to them, because they make
My
nice
mom
software.
used to touch me at night.
How are those levels coming through there?
Levels.
I wasn't really expecting that. I don't know if the levels are still sounding good. I'm not sure what we're.
Hello. Is anybody out there listening to me?
Were we talking about spam mail
I need
today?
a psychiatrist. I would say psychologist, but they don't give you drugs.
No, they don't. They usually talk to you about why you shouldn't be on them. That's what my drug counselor did. Because this one time he used to get high, and this one time he did it, and the weatherman on TV was telling him to do things.
Of how great they are.
Yeah.
They're actually pretty good.
Yeah, he was
even though
telling
they're
you
not
to do
super
things
close.
like, don't drive in the fucking snow.
Actually, he didn't tell me what exactly the weatherman was telling him to do.
Huh.
That happened, and then he's like,
a jacket.
and then he got paranoid about it. He was like, oh my God, I think the weatherman's trying to tell me something on TV. Oh no, I must have lost my mind. And
It's
that's why I
called
never touched it
Bring
again.
an umbrella.
Oh, that's what they call it.
It might rain.
He actually seems kind of schizo to me. I kind of felt when I was there that he might be a little bit crazier than I was. I'm not sure if that's true, but
You should never believe what the weatherman says. No one can predict the future. You might as well live your life based on the horoscope.
I really I don't watch the weatherman.
Well, that's why they're called
And,
weather gamblers.
That's pretty much how I do it. You know,
Very
people
big.
will come to me at work and they'll be like, oh, you know, I hear it's supposed to be like, you know, nice and sunny tomorrow and it'll rain. And they're like, fucking rain.
Fucking rain.
Who do you
Or they're
blame?
like, you know,
Do you blame the weatherman or do you blame the Weather Channel?
The weather.
what they should blame is their preconceptions about what the weather should be like, because what the weather is what the weather is. It doesn't matter what it should be like today. If it should be raining or it should be sunny, you know, that's kind of the binding point there, and it's like it just is.
Come on now, meteorologists go through thousands of hours of study of weather at the atomic level. I'm sure they know what's going to happen. They just don't want to tell you. They have to keep you guessing, otherwise why watch?
Right. Is input. Option. So we've got a great show planned out for you here. Planned out years in advance.
Totally. That's exactly what we did before we came here. I mean, a year ago before we came here.
Is this? Are you You hearing this?
Of your music?
Yeah.
Very, very lowly. It's very low. Better. It's a little, not as high still though. It's still pretty low. Do you want to try the headphones?
Yeah.
Can we not plug headphones in here and listen? I guess we could just hear the music though. Isn't there? There's an adapter in there, isn't there?
The three-way one?
It's a one, two,
Well, yeah.
5.
Remember they had the 3 plugged into it. I don't need one, so you guys are good.
Okay.
Aux 1. Oh, stop making noise though.
So probably.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
So are we allowed to sing copyrighted music? Because then it would be a performance live, and it doesn't necessarily need to be.
That's my understanding. I read articles on the air too because it's a performance. If
That
someone
is
wanted to
really
be like
great song, I wanna sing.
annoying person, they probably could, but you know.
Well, I don't exactly know who would even like pursue
I
us
think
if I
it's-
sang this song, but it's like a great American song. Like everyone in America could relate to this song.
Oh, you found the
Are you
adapter.
ready?
Yeah, I think you should sing it.
Can you hear yourself? Can you hear
Okay.
yourself?
I think you should sing it.
I think everyone should sing along too.
Hear yourself?
If I know it.
Can you hear yourself?
What?
Can you hear yourself?
Yeah. I'm live on mass-hysteria here. And I can hear myself talking.
Yes, we
And now we're here mystified with Alice in Wonderland, the Hatter, as we speak.
As we speak, huh?
Are we finally all set to go?
Yeah, we're all set to go.
That's nice. We got 20 minutes left.
Yeah, we can make it go longer since we do have 20 minutes. 'Cause it took us a while to get everything set up.
It's
so.
It's Av and the guy who's working the counter right now come on after us.
Oh, okay.
So at least usually they have a Friday night after hours show.
Nice.
Yeah. Usually a lot of midgets involved with that.
Silent storm.
I always fucking think of that. I always think of that clip. Gotta set up some inputs here.
You know, silent storms piss me off. Like, I want to hear the thunder.
Yeah. They're kind of confusing to me. Like, when I see all the clouds in the sky and the lightning, and there's no sound or rain, it's like, what's up? And then
Yeah, it's
I
like going to a
realize-
concert and the mics are off.
Oh, you're right. I have a separate channel called Mike's. I bet that has something to do with this. Gotta get that channel turned on. Mic in, one left. Oh, no. We want input. Mono line in 3, 4 left. Let's turn that one on. Still not getting any levels on that one. Input 3. Oh, it was one of the other locked off dials.
Why are they locked off?
Because if you mess them up, it can cause like potentially damaging feedback or just make things weird. And it's extra dials to set back, extra dials to forget about. Sometimes people forget about the dials.
I always wanted a soundboard just so I could play with it.
Now's your chance.
Oh, no. Has to be mine.
Yeah, I guess then you don't have to worry about setting everything back and remembering all the settings or messing anything up. We need some more effects on this one. Oh, we'll just add an effects send. But
So tonight I heard there was going to be this conversation of some sort of debate going on. Is this true fact?
yeah, it is actually. We were going to talk about spam mail.
And junk mail, wasn't it as well?
Yes, and junk mail, which is the original form of spam mail.
Oh, Anderson, this is
I
gonna
believe.
be Anderson, this is going to be some sort of junk mail or some sort of debate going on.
Yeah, I think we were going to have a couple people on our show here.
Oh, okay.
And we were going to talk about it and discuss both sides
Oh yeah.
Turn the other way.
of the equation.
Oh, sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it should be.
Nice.
Here on mass-hysteria, things are still righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, even when you're screwing it from the other side.
No comment. Too easy.
It's tight either way. we're gonna get a receive from mics on our Chiller Effects channel. And I think let's get this started. Who are our guests today? Introduce yourselves.
I'm Mr. General Kelly, paper Intuit industry.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, paper Intuit industry. And who is our other guest?
Mr. Anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous. All right. And what are your opinions about junk mail and about spam mail?
I'm all for it.
I'm against it.
Interesting.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. He obviously does not read his junk mail.
I don't know. Do you read your junk mail, Mr. What was your name again?
Mr. Kelly General, not into paper.
Kelly General, not into paper.
Yes.
Do you read your junk mail?
Based on an average adult, we receive about 41 pounds of junk mail by the end of our fiscal lives, or in the fiscal year, I mean. And about 41% of us decide to not read most of that information. So that's about a lot of us. It's probably like 60 billion tons of garbage from junk mail itself. So if you were to ask me if I read my junk mail, probably about 59% of it.
59%.
That's a lot of numbers. Did you get all those numbers?
59%.
I just want to say that anyone that spent that much time researching the numbers on junk mail instead of reading their junk mail has entirely too much time on their hands, and they should just read their damn junk mail.
I like to
Response, Mr. Kelly?
I like to state for a fact that when it comes to my junk mail, I usually go to my mailbox and expect my bills to be there. And sometimes there's those trickery ones where it's like, this is an immediate document from the government that you need to like sign. But I get it and I open it and I'm just like, that's totally not the fuck you were talking, or freak you were talking about. That's totally about.
I would like to make a point real quick.
Capital. I should sign up for this credit card.
I don't know what country you're from, but where I'm from, when I go to the mailbox and I see bills, my heart drops into my testicles. But when I see junk mail, I am relieved. So just that basis alone, I would rather see junk mail than bills.
Because I get my daily coffee in the morning, I feel excited to see my bills.
Yay! I'm getting charged $500 for rent.
Do you ever relieve yourself on your bills?
I do relieve myself from my bills, as a matter of fact. I also would like to
Hopefully
state,
you pay online.
I also like to state that, like, I mean, normally I just, you know, 59% is probably, it's more of an approximation as to how much of my junk mail that I actually read. But majority of the times when I go to my mailbox, I do just want to see my bills, but I don't look at them right away.
How many of your bills do you read?
You know, it depends which one's priority for the month.
Which bill is usually your highest priority?
My most highest priority in bills is my extra expenses of having fun.
I see.
They send you bill. You don't pay for that right away.
No. I'm too.
All right.
Awesome.
Enough about these bills. I thought we were talking about junk mail and spam mail.
Yes.
I don't know where that idea came from.
On top of junk
Some
mail,
crazy
for the debate of junk mail, I like to state for a fact here that I like to have facts when it comes to conversation, and if I'm going to be against it, I like to do a little research. Unlike this man who's over here telling me how I should read my mail, or how I've been reading my mail and not have been concentrating or having too much time in my hands. I like to state for a fact here that So I mean, if you take the rainforest into account here, about 100 million trees are destroyed, which 42% of that is used for the production of junk mail.
But
mean,
how many
even-
trees are used for bills?
Yes, and when you don't read your bills right away, they send you another and another notice. That's
Yeah,
more
that's the
trees.
thing. I mean, well, so does junk mail, though. I mean, don't you think, Mr. Anonymous?
But if you don't pay your bills right away, that first and second notice become junk mail.
So would you consider junk mail to be the natural state of mail?
Yes.
All mail, not
All mail is
otherwise specified, is by default junk mail.
Unless it's a letter from Tyrone in prison. That's the one you keep.
I mean, well, how do you explain 10 billion or 100 billion trees being destroyed each and every year from our rainforests, and 42% of that being used for our junk mail? And if you were to just say that
Are those
now
actual,
your bills,
Are those real things that happen?
these are actual facts that I have here, based on my source of
Off of
41pounds.org.
Wikipedia.
No, it's actually 41pounds.org, which is a natural, it's a sort of like natural website that tells you about everything how things are produced here in our country.
General, I see your future. You're tied to a tree that's about to get cut down. The machine doesn't stop.
I've once experienced such a tragic event before, but I made my way out of it, seeing the laws in certain countries or places where there are rainforests tend to let you carry your weapons.
So you're saying you value the life of that tree?
I very much value the life of that tree.
Have you ever picked the weed?
Because I have picked the weed before.
Did you not value the life of that weed?
I did value the life of that weed, so I gave it to my guinea pig for his production of his life. So I'm an older man, but I like to think of the times that are going to make things better in the long run.
I think a tree sees more uses than a weed.
There's other forms of things that we could
You ever wipe
grow.
your ass
I definitely do.
with toilet paper?
I actually use a towel most of the time. With soap and water. Because
Do you do your own laundry? Have you ever used junk mail to wipe your junk off?
I've not done such a thing, unless it was a bill that I was super excited to see.
I save my junk mail for bonfires.
Not bills.
If I wipe off my mirror, if I want to, drain the grease off my hamburgers, junk mail has its uses.
I mean, well, even if junk mail has its uses, I mean, my question was, why do we need to use 10 million trees?
I personally don't use 10 million trees.
I mean, but the production...
I've used 10 million trees in
you're
one
on-
sitting.
I'm sorry, it's 100 million trees, but you're on the side of junk mail being okay, but 100...
No, I'm not on any side. I'm actually a neutral arbitrator in this situation.
But 100...
Completely neutral.
I understand. But I'd like to ask my opponent here, why is 100 million trees okay when 42% of them are used for junk mail? And if we consider our bills to be junk mail at some point too, then those numbers sort of increase a little bit. How is that okay? Why is that okay?
I think it's okay, depending on what you do with junk mail after you received it. For one, there are many things in junk mail that you never even knew about. I get notices on life insurance. I'm young, but you really gotta think about your life insurance, because one day you're gonna get old, and you're gonna die, and you're gonna leave something behind for people. I didn't know about that until I received a notice in my junk mail. And then some bank wanted to give me $100 back as long as I opened an account with them. Free checking. I didn't have to pay anything. I was able to open up a free checking with direct deposit from my employer. Now I don't have a job, but still, if I had one, I would go ahead and get this direct deposit and I get $100 free. So that way, junk mail has just paid me $100 for a free checking account.
Have you ever had that experience with bills?
I've had a very sorrow experience with bills in that sort of context. there was this time in which that I did open a checking account, and they did give me $100, and they also convinced me to open a savings account, which they would give me $25 just for opening one. I did have direct deposit, but apparently with the savings account, I had to have a minimum of $300. So by the time I realized that my money was decreasing, I found myself in a world of deciding which bills to pay.
What sort of world was that?
It was a very confusing one because I didn't read all the information which they supplied to me from.
And if you read the rest of your junk mail, you would have got to pay $100 towards that savings account.
But who reads?
I remember seeing those.
I want to know who reads their junk.
You know, you get $100 for setting up direct deposit. I was like,
junk mail. I find coupons for things that, I mean, no one buys what they really need anyway. But I find coupons for things that I never even wanted until I saw it in junk mail.
Yeah. That'll happen.
If
the entire Heartland America catalog is things people don't really want, but then they see in order, I think.
Well, to touch bases back on the subject of how bad junk mail is in the sense of rainforests, even if we weren't thinking of rainforests necessarily, but just one more fact to add here. So on top of all that, about 2 billion tons of CO2 is removed from the world based on the population of trees, which are a part of the rainforests, which are also being destroyed. And even if the rainforests weren't being affected, the amount of gas and emissions from cars and the about 28 billion gallons of water that's wasted to produce such. I mean, there's kind of like sort of like a scale here.
Certainly,
like what's really important to us.
Yeah, I'm going to interject here. 80% of the world's oxygen is not produced by trees. It is by the algae in the oceans.
I didn't say the oxygen. It's the CO2. The CO2 is carbon monoxide.
True.
Would you be okay if the bills were made out of algae sourced materials? Or I'm sorry, the junk mail.
Paper. There is kelp paper. So
would you be okay with junk mail only being printed on kelp paper?
I think that's as long as it's paper that's compostable. I think that's an important part, and that we actually use it. I mean, if we really.
What do you think about human composting? Humanure?
That's not a subject we're going to touch bases on, considering that we're talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's off topic. Off topic.
I mean, I did once before receive a body roll exhibit piece of junk mail, and they wanted me to donate my body, but I value my body too much.
Okay, let's go back to the pros of junk mail. Okay, there are educational advertisements to make you feel like you are somebody. But
The salad shooter.
People are depressed. I got 11 baby mamas. You know, junk mail to me is child support notices. That is junk. Junk mail to me is coming from the DA office. Stuff that they know I am not going to read. That I am not paying this money. Why are you looking for me? Stop looking for me. That's why I'm using this anonymous. That's real junk mail. The coupons I get
And they always
every
make them
single
look
day.
the same. It's like you can see. You're like, this is official. Fuck that. I've never said that. I mean, that's my imagination.
There's only one
Just
time
imagining
in
that.
which that I regretted not opening my junk mail, and there was this letter from this survey company called SurveyILoveYou.com, and I just threw it away. And the next day, my coworkers tell me about this survey that she had gotten inside the mail, and inside of it, they included $120 for her to complete this survey. So I, of course, did anything that any other human would do. I dug inside my garbage, and I found it.
So you're saying that you throw junk mail in the garbage? You don't recycle?
I mean, it was my garbage. It's the same truck picks it up. It is my recycling bin.
We actually have different schedules for the garbage and the recycling.
There are different schedules, but it's definitely the same.
It sounds like you throw your paper in the garbage.
I sometimes eat my junk mail.
That explains a lot.
Well,
You are what you eat.
if indeed that any of you people out there feel the desire
Any junk mail?
to post to comment about my debate here as to why we are against junk
Do I
mail.
mix anything in it? Do I like shred it and make a salad?
You should email me at delcasey@gmail.com.
What kind of topping do you put on junk mail?
That's CASY.
He probably does the same thing he does with the bills, and
Is it good with Merlot or Chardonnay?
at gmail.com.